Hello. Today I'm going to tell you more about the dangers of waterborne diseases. Waterborne diseases are extremely prominent in rural areas in India. They are potentially deadly and can cause severe illness in most cases. I want to focus on three of the most common waterborne diseases: cholera, malaria, and typhoid. These diseases are potentially deadly, but they can be prevented. Most of rural India gets its water from overflooded farmland after the monsoon season. This water is stagnant, giving a perfect breeding ground for bacteria and viruses to grow. Running water, like those in rivers, prevents a lot of bacterial growth, but stagnant water has perfect conditions. This is why waterborne illnesses are such a problem. Let's start with cholera. Cholera is a disease caused by a bacteria found in contaminated water called the cholera bacterium. When it enters the body, this bacteria multiplies, causing severe dehydration and diarrhea. It can also cause nausea as well. Although this implies that the problem is only gastrointestinal, it can cause an imbalance of electrolytes, minerals that are needed to maintain good health. This can lead to muscle cramps and extreme dehydration that can cause death. In fact, if the disease is not treated immediately, it can cause death within hours of infection. Stagnant water encourages the growth of the cholera bacterium. If you are experiencing extreme diarrhea or dehydration, go to the doctor as soon as possible. Cholera is treated well in hospitals, and the chances of a full recovery are extremely high. Now let's move on to malaria. Most of you probably know that malaria is spread through mosquitoes, but did you know that this is also considered a waterborne disease? The mosquitoes that carry the bacteria that causes malaria breed on stagnant water, laying eggs in these areas. This means that where most people in rural areas get their water, mosquito eggs are very likely to be in there. Malaria can cause high fever, chills, headache, and nausea. Malaria may not be deadly for adults, but older people with compromised immune systems and babies and infants are very likely to die from it. The best option to prevent malaria is by using mosquito repellents and sleeping in mosquito nets. Typhoid is another prominent waterborne disease that can cause death. Typhoid, much like cholera, is caused by a bacterium in water that can cause high fever, either diarrhea or constipation, and headache. Most people are able to recover, but again, infants and the elderly are very vulnerable to its effects. Many people report becoming delirious, so it is very important to go see a doctor when symptoms arise. These are just some of the most common diseases, and there are many others like dysentery and filariasis. Most waterborne illnesses have the same symptoms, such as diarrhea and high fever, so when these symptoms occur, make sure to always go to the doctor as quickly as possible to avoid a fatality. However, to prevent any of these diseases from actually occurring to you altogether, there is an option: water purification. The best, most simple option is to boil the water you get immediately after collecting it. This will prevent the growth of malaria-causing mosquitoes because the heat destroys any potential eggs that may have been laid there. The heat also kills almost all microorganisms that cause disease, such as those that cause cholera and typhoid. This makes it largely safe to drink because the organic threats are removed from the water. However, farmland is almost always treated with large amounts of chemicals like pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. Heat itself will not completely eliminate these potentially toxic chemicals from the water. In order to remove these metals as well, a water filtration device can be used. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something about waterborne diseases that might help keep you and your family safe.